Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into this week's video, I just want to take a second to say a massive thank you to everybody who watched last week's video. Safe to say it was not an overnight YouTube sensation, but everybody starts somewhere. So I really appreciate everybody who took the time to watch and to feedback. For this week's video, I am in the car. I've got about 15 minutes till my bus leaves. We are just about to head to Aberdeen, to the Balmoral Stadium. Today's game is Cove Rangers versus Kelty Hearts. Balmoral Stadium is in a small suburb of Aberdeen called Cove Bay, so that's where we're heading just now. Speak to you a little bit about the game and a little bit about the stadium and the two teams when we get up to Aberdeen. The bus will be leaving very shortly, so I'm going to get all my gear. Probably won't get any footage on the bus today. I like to leave, I'll be travelling with the team bus, and I like to leave those guys and give them a little bit of peace and give them a little bit of space before the game. But I will get some footage when we arrive in Aberdeen, try to get some aerial shots of the stadium and give you a quick view around the park before the game starts. So stay tuned. I'm about to jump on the bus now and I will speak to you when we get to Aberdeen. So here we are then at the Balmoral Stadium, home of Cove Rangers. It's quite cold as I had thought. We are, as I said earlier, just on the outskirts of Aberdeen, right beside the North Sea coast. So I was expecting it to be fairly cold, but the weather here is quite damp. There's a lot of fog in the air. In terms of the clubs, so a quick look at the league table and you'll see that there's only 7 points between the two clubs. Kelty is currently sitting in 10th spot versus Cove in 8th spot. So both teams have had similar results this season. I think Cove probably started kind of slow, but have come on to things a little bit more just around about the sort of the Christmas period up to now. We're just at the end of February here. Their results seem to have picked up over that period, where Kelty's performances I think have probably improved, but the results haven't really followed. Including today, there are 12 games left to go in this season, so there is still time there for Kelty to have a similar improvement in their results, but it really needs to start now. I do think that 7 points is about as far behind as I would like to get. Anything more than that and it starts to become just a little bit too far, I think, in my mind. So and I would imagine that most of the Kelty fans and the players, the backroom staff, etc. will feel something similar. So I think most people will regard this as a must-win for Kelty here today. In terms of history, the two clubs are both fairly similar in that respect as well. They're both relatively new into the SPFL. Both come up through the pyramid structure. The only difference really, I think, Cove won the Highland League, whereas Kelty won the Lowland League. But they're only a couple of years apart. Cove got their first promotion in 2019. Whereas Kelty was in 2021, so in that respect, very similar feel about the clubs as well, and I think that's probably why there is quite a good relationship between the two clubs. There's always a warm welcome here, and I know the Cove fans feel similar when they come down to Fife. So I think in that respect there is there's a mutual respect for what the two sides have achieved. That's similar. Path, if you like, from non-league football into the current league structure. And I do think both sides probably at the moment are starting to show that the promotion has been relatively straightforward. Establishing themselves into League One has been relatively straightforward, but now I think cementing that place there and becoming a mainstay within the league just seems to feel like it's starting to become a bit of a stretch for both sides, and I think that's probably why you see them sitting in 8th and 10th respectively. I don't think there's an awful lot between the two clubs in terms of performances and in terms of playing staff and things like that. I think the big difference for this season has been Cove do have a prolific striker, Mitch Megginson, who scores a lot of goals at this level, and I think that probably has been the main difference between the two clubs this season. So there we go. I think that's probably the setup for today's game. We're about 45 minutes away from kick-off, so it's 2:15 here just now. Kick-off is at 3 p.m. I noticed the goalkeepers, if I turn around there, you'll see the goalkeepers are going through their warm-ups just behind us, and the rest of the first team and subs will be coming out just shortly. So I'm going to do a bit of shooting around the stadium, just take a few pictures, wait for the first team to come out, and then again we'll pick up just before kick-off, and we'll run you through what the team lineups look like. Okay, speak to you soon, bye. So just a quick aerial view of the stadium. As you can see, it is not too dissimilar to Kelty in a lot of respects. There's the AstroTurf Park, there's the one big main stand where all the seating capacity is, I think, around about 2,000, similar to New Central Park, and then one or two standing areas dotted around the perimeter. You can see the weather is still pretty dodgy, a lot of fog and moisture in the air. I had hoped to get some nice views over Aberdeen and over to the North Sea, but obviously the weather's put paid to that. But that's the Balmoral Stadium from the air. Hi guys, so here we are, just a couple of minutes to kick off now. I make it 2:55, so the teams will be coming out just shortly. Rain's just starting to pick up a little bit here as well, so it's going to be a wet one, I think, at Balmoral Stadium this afternoon. Team lineup, team news. The big one, I think, for Kelty, the important thing is Ross Cunningham is in from the start. Today he was the goal hero last week, scoring in the 87th minute. That means Aaron Pettifer drops to the bench. Other than that, it's pretty much the same lineup as last week. So hoping for big things. Obviously, a big game for both sides here today. Obviously, 3 points is hugely important for both sides. Looking forward to the game. I'm sure the weather conditions will play a bit of a part. I see the subs coming out there just now, so I'm assuming that the teams and the officials won't be far behind. I've come down to the end that Kelty would normally be shooting towards if everything goes to plan. So we shall see. I'm just going to get myself set up just now. I'm experimenting a little bit with my cameras. I've got a set up here to try and film a bit of the action as well. So bear with me if some of the footage looks a little bit different. I'm just trying to work out which is the best camera to use for the action. So I'm going to get that set up as soon as the teams are out and we know which way we're shooting, and I'll try and get you some action and hopefully get you a few goals. Okay, thank you. See you soon. Hi guys, just a quick catch up here from the Balmoral Stadium. Game's still 0-0. We're midway through the first half. Fairly even in terms of possession, in terms of chances. Kelty looking quite lively up top. Luke McCarville and Lewis Moore looking like the mean business today. McCarville actually had a fairly good chance really early on. First minute of the game, he'd found his way into the box. I think he just delayed a wee bit too much and let the defender get back and rob the ball off his toe. He also had a claim for a penalty. I'm not sure it was what I would consider a stonewaller of a penalty. There was just a bit of a coming together on the edge of the box. I think there was contact. I would suggest Luke probably initiated the contact and was certainly looking for it. Referee wasn't impressed. Oh, never got a chance. Referee wasn't impressed and never gave anything. Scoreline still 0-0 here at the Balmoral Stadium. Hi guys, just had the opening goal 3 minutes before half time. Jack Bryden it was for Kelty Hearts. It was a corner over on the Kelty left hand side. Ball was played deep to the back post. Jack Bryden right at the back post, just getting that final touch to force it over the line. Jack Bryden just getting that touch right at the back post, just to force it over the line 3 minutes from the interval. Precious lead for Kelty. You could tell the way the team celebrated how important that goal is to all of them. I think I'm right in saying it's Jack Bryden's first goal for the club. He has been going up for these corners. He's a defender, but he's been going up for these corners all season long, and just not really had the luck at all. Really glad to see that it's happened for him in this really important game, just to give the club that lead. Really, it's about just now holding on until half time, which was just a couple of minutes away. There have been one or two stoppages in that first half. One for an injury to Bryden himself. I don't think it was anything serious. It was just he landed awkwardly after a header and just needed a minute or two to get his breath back. I think so. Certainly no ill effects. Nothing stopped him from being brave at the back post to win that header and give Kelty the lead. Just a couple of minutes before half time. 44 minutes on the watch here it is just now, and it's Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 1. Hi guys, quick update. 83rd minute, and it's an equaliser for Cove Rangers. It's poor defending from Kelty, to be honest. There was a corner kick on the right hand side. They kind of cleared it, but didn't really deal with it properly. It fell out to the edge of the box. I actually think it was Cooper Masson who had been most of the first half of the season on loan at Kelty. It looked like it was him who got the final touch, and it kind of ricocheted in off the bottom left hand post, Kyle Gourley. So one each here at the Balmoral Stadium. I make it about 6 minutes plus stoppage time left in the game. Kelty just made two quick substitutions right in the wake of that goal to obviously try and wrestle the advantage back. Cameron Cooper came on. Try to see who else has come on. I'm not sure. It was Aaron Arnott. Two attacking players on for Kelty to try and win this game. Just need to be careful they don't overcommit and leave themselves short at the back as well. Big grandstand finish here in Aberdeen. It's currently Cove Rangers 0, Cove Rangers 1, Kelty Hearts 1. So there we are, guys, full time here in Aberdeen at a very wet Balmoral Stadium. It's finished 1 apiece. Kelty conceding that equaliser in the 83rd, 84th minute. I guess the contrast in emotions. Sorry, just make my camera get wet there. The contrast in emotions of a 1-1 draw. This time last week, it was Kelty who had stolen that point late on with an equaliser. We were quite elated. Whereas today we obviously feel a little bit flat after conceding and having been in front for most of that second half. I think the team, personally, I think they'll feel that they had done enough to win the game. I thought they'd been, certainly in the first half, they were on the front foot most of the half. I think probably in the second half, Cove probably came into it a little bit more, had quite a lot of pressure, certainly in the early part of that second half. And the equaliser came just when it looked like they were starting to run out of steam a little bit, I think. So, plenty to chew on. A point on the road, probably not the best point we could have gotten. Certainly another game down that we've not won. You start to feel like that win is never going to come. But full time here at Balmoral Stadium, and it's Cove Rangers 1, Kelty Hearts 1. Yeah, so I think that's probably it for this week's video then. Maybe just a real quick wrap up before we finish. It's Monday, now I've had a little bit of time to think over the game. I think at the time I felt a little bit disappointed not to take all 3 points, and probably still feel the same. I know Cove did come into the game quite a bit in the second half, but I did feel that
there were certainly long spells of the game where Kelty had enough to probably feel like they should have won that one. Elsewhere, the other big result everybody was keeping an eye on was the Hamilton game, and once again they got beat. So again, just a little glimmer of hope for Kelty there. Just closing that gap on them by another single point. So that takes the gap back to 4 points to Hamilton. Yeah, still a little bit for Kelty to go before they can feel safe. Thinking forward now to next game is at home to Inverness Cally Thistle, the current league leaders. So it will be top versus bottom. So a tough game in prospect for Kelty this weekend. Played each other twice already this season. First game of the season, opening day, Cally came down to Kelty and won quite convincingly in the end. The return fixture up in Inverness, Kelty gave a really good account of themselves. They were 2-0 up midway through the first half. Unfortunately, they did concede 2 goals to take a 2 each draw and just a single point. So maybe enough at least for the team to feel like they can compete. But certainly they will have to be at their very best because Thistle are playing really well just now, and hence they are in the position that they are. So yeah, that is going to be the next video that we do. Once again, just a quick thank you to everybody who has watched this video or the previous one. I will leave a link to the previous one in case you haven't had a chance to look at it. I do appreciate your time, and I will see you again on the next one.